It happened at 3:17 p.m. everywhere. Every phone, every billboard, every TV, even microwaves with digital displays, flickered and froze. Then the same message appeared across the globe in blood-red text. Hide now. At first, everyone thought it was a hack or a prank. I was in my office downtown. My coworkers laughed nervously, snapping photos, posting online. Marketing stunt, someone said, viral campaign, but my skin felt cold. My body knew something I didn't. I grabbed my bag. I didn't know where to go, just that I had to move. Outside, the city stalled. People pointed at traffic signs flashing high. Times Square was frozen, the word looping on every screen. The sound of phones buzzing all around us was deafening. Then came the silence. No birds, no engines, no wind, just nothing. Then, like a switch flipped, people began to scatter. A man tripped on the curb. A woman screamed and dropped her phone. I saw a kid standing alone near a hot dog stand, crying, no parents in sight. And the strangest part, no one stopped to help. We just ran. I ducked into a parking garage, thinking concrete would shield me. My phone was still stuck on the word hide. My heart raced as I descended level after level. I saw others doing the same, hiding behind cars, stairwells, dumpsters. No one spoke, eyes wide, silent terror. Then the lights went out. Not flickered, dead, complete blackness. Someone screamed to floors above, then silence again. I held my breath, crouched under a car. That's when I heard it. A low, humming sound, metallic, mechanical, not human. It was searching. Footsteps echoed, but not like ours. They were too heavy, too deliberate. Something moved through the dark, slow and steady. Someone nearby whispered, "It can't see if we don't move." I wanted to believe him, but when I looked to my left, he was already gone. I sat there, frozen, heart thundering in my chest. The sound, whatever it was, got closer, scraping against the concrete. I could hear others breathing around me, trying to stay invisible. Then a loud crack, not a gun, not a scream. It was the sound of bones splitting. A flashlight flickered across the garage, held by trembling hands. Someone desperate, searching for a way out. The beam passed over something tall, thin, and wrong. No face, just a shifting void where a head should be. It didn't walk, it glided. We watched in terror as it moved past the cars, pausing at each one like it could sense the heat, the fear. I covered my mouth with both hands. A woman to Rosedown couldn't. She sobbed. It turned, it knew, it moved faster than anything should be able to. She didn't even get to scream. Just gone, lifted, twisted, silence. I ran. So did everyone else. The exits were jammed, panicked bodies piling at stairwells. Some got crushed, others just disappeared, taken mid-step. The creature didn't chase, it selected. By the time I reached the surface, the sky was wrong. It wasn't night, but the sun was gone. A red glow blanketed everything, like the light had been filtered through blood. Screens everywhere still flashed. Hi. Now the message never changed. A group of survivors had gathered near an abandoned restaurant. No one talked. We just looked at each other, waiting for a clue, a sign, a sound. One guy held a laptop. "There's no internet," he whispered. "No satellites, no radio. It's just us now. And then the laptop lit up, not from anything he touched. A new message appeared, different font, sharper. It simply read, "IT knows who didn't hire." Then it turned off. Everyone looked around, suspicion, fear, but I wasn't scared of them. It was still out there. Someone tried to calm us. Some ex-military guy barking orders, telling us to form teams and secure the perimeter. But none of us were soldiers. We were just scared people who had seen something we couldn't explain. One by one, we started drifting away. I found myself walking aimlessly past shattered glass and empty intersections. The world was quiet to quiet, no sirens, no emergency broadcasts, no planes, no traffic, just the screens, always pulsing that same word, hi. It never turned off. Eventually I ended up in a church. It was empty, but the candles were lit. That gave me comfort for about 5 seconds until I saw someone kneeling at the altar. Their head was tilted up, but they didn't blink, didn't breathe. They were frozen. I crept closer, whispering, "Hey," no response. I reached out, and when my fingers touched their shoulder, they crumbled literally. Skin to dust, bones to ash, collapsing silently into the pew. That's when I knew it wasn't a warning, it was an execution list. Somewhere, somehow, something was keeping score, deciding who had obeyed fast enough, who hesitated, who didn't hide. Maybe it wasn't random at all. Maybe it had always known where each of us was. Maybe it was never about hiding, it was about judging. The stained glass windows darkened, no clouds, no nightfall, just darkness swallowing the light like ache in water. I ran into the basement, where I found a radio, old, dusty analog. I turned the dial, static, then a voice. Not human, metallic, remained still. My fingers froze. I didn't move. It repeated, remain still, then softer. It watches motion. It forgets the quiet. I turned the volume down and sat there in the dark. I wanted to believe the voice. I needed to, but deep down I knew it was testing me. I stayed in that basement for hours, maybe days. Time didn't feel real anymore. The radio stayed silent after that last whisper. Every few minutes I'd hear footsteps above me, but not human ones. Too heavy, too deliberate. Always stopping right above my head. Eventually hunger pushed me out. The church was empty again. Even the dust of the kneeling figure was gone, erased. I crept outside. No sun, no people, just that red haze hanging like poison. The street was littered with dropped bags, still full of food. I grabbed what I could and ducked into a bookstore. Thought I'd be safe among paper and ink. But then I heard it again. That low mechanical hum, like a far-off generator, closer this time. I hid behind a shelf of self-help books, of all things.
Through the window, I saw a figure gliding down the sidewalk. Same faceless head, same long limbs. It didn't move like a creature. It moved like a thought, like it just decided where to be, and was. It paused at the store. My breath caught. It knew.
It didn't come in, just stared through the glass, if you could call it staring. I didn't move, not even blink. After a full minute, it drifted on. I waited another hour before moving again, but that's when I realized something was wrong with the books. Every title had changed. Hide or Die, You Are Not Alone. It remembers the one who moved. Page after page warnings, threats, instructions. My hands trembled as I flipped through them. I was reading a story about me, about what I'd just done. The last page wasn't printed. It was handwritten, fresh ink. It said, "You looked. It's coming back." I dropped the book and ran, not knowing where to go. But a screen across the street lit up again. This time not red, not urgent, just 2 words, "Too late." I didn't stop running. Even with my legs burning, even with my vision blurring, I ran. I didn't care where, I just needed to get away from that screen, from those words. Too late. I didn't want to know what they meant. I didn't want confirmation I'd already failed. I ended up in the subway. The trains were still, but the power flickered on and off like something was alive in the walls. I jumped down to the tracks and followed the tunnel, hoping whatever watched from above couldn't follow underground. I was wrong. Far ahead, a light blinked, not white or yellow, blue, cold, familiar. I slowed. My instincts screamed. But I crept closer. It wasn't a train light. It was a door, glowing faintly from its edges, steel and humming, like it didn't belong to this century. I opened it. The room inside was small, cold, clean, metallic. At the center, a single chair with wires. Monitors lined the walls. They showed cities, forests, bedrooms, bathrooms, people, ordinary people. All just watched. None of them knew. One screen showed me running through the subway seconds earlier. I wasn't alone. Behind me, something long and dark moved with impossible speed. But when I turned, the tunnel was empty. I looked back at the screen. It was now showing this very room. The camera zoomed in on me, on my face. Then the screen glitched and new text appeared. Experiment 1 for A. Observation terminated. I backed away. The door behind me slammed shut. The hum grew louder. Lights pulsed red. I was inside whatever this was. From the ceiling, a voice echoed. Subject awareness detected. Containment breach in progress. I pounded on the door. Screen begged. But I knew the truth now. We weren't being warned to hide. We were being studied to see how long we could. The walls started closing in, not physically, but with sound. Static built in my ears like pressure, like altitude sickness. I dropped to my knees. On the monitor, my image distorted, my mouth open, eyes wide. But I wasn't screaming. I was watching myself scream. The voice returned, this time whispering from every direction. Subject 14 exceeded expected parameters. My body shook, but not from cold. From something deeper, like I was being rewritten from the inside, like I was just data, glitching out. Then silence, everything shut off. Darkness again, a hard click. The door creaked open behind me. I crawled toward it, too weak to run. On the other side was no tunnel, no subway, just my street, my front door, morning bird song, sunshine, like nothing happened. I stumbled forward, blinking in disbelief. A neighbor waved, cars passed, kids played on bikes. The world was normal again, or so it pretended. I ran into my house, slammed the door, and checked every screen. All blank, as if the message had never existed. My phone was dead, my laptop reset. I turned on the TV, just cartoons. But I saw something, a reflection behind me. A tall shape, thin and still. I turned fast, but no one was there. Nothing. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed me out. That night I didn't sleep. Every creak, every groan of the house made me flinch. At 3:17 a.m., exactly 12 hours from when it began, my TV turned on by itself. No picture, just text. White this time, not red. It said, "Reintegration complete." My hands weren't my own. I reached for the remote, but didn't feel it. My reflection in the screen stared back but didn't move with me. Then it smiled, only the reflection, and I finally understood I had hidden, but something else had taken my place. I tried to warn people, my friends, my sister. I told them what happened, showed them the screen, the message, but they laughed it off, said I was tired, paranoid, just a dream. But that night I saw her, my sister, standing outside, staring into the dark and moving. I pulled her back inside. She didn't fight. She didn't blink. When I asked her what she saw, she whispered, "I never hid." Then she collapsed. I called an ambulance. They said she was in a coma. No signs of trauma. Brain activity, strange, too active. Doctors said it was like she was awake in there, but stuck, dreaming wide open. I sat by her bed for days, waiting. Then one night, her heart monitor flatlined and then restarted. Not a beat, a tone. Morse code, the nurse screamed. I understood the word, run. I've been moving ever since, never staying anywhere longer than a day. Every time I stop, I see screens flicker, hear the hum, feel that presence. I don't know what it wants, but I know it's still watching, still choosing, maybe waiting for me to stop hiding. Others are waking up now, talking about the same red sky, the same messages, the same figure. It's spreading like a virus, like a test. Maybe we're all part of it. Maybe we always were. But no one knows how it started, only that it ends with silence. Somewhere out there, there's a list. I think the message was never meant to save us, just sort us, filter out who's ready, and who's already lost, who hides out of fear, and who hides out of instinct. I don't know which I am anymore. Maybe I never did. If you're seeing this, if your screen ever says hi, do it. Don't think. Don't hesitate. And if it says anything else, it's too late. I'm writing this while I still can, because it's here again, watching, waiting, and this time I don't think I can run. If this story gave you chills, let us know in the comments. What do you think the message meant? And what would you do if every screen in the world told you to hide? Drop your theories and tell us what kind of story you want to hear next. We're always watching.